What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about GTA 6 yet again, and not in the way that, honestly, I expected or thought that we would have to. I guess, technically, we knew that a strike could happen, but to be honest with you, I kind of forgot about it. Earlier today, we had the voice actor strike. I did a whole video just kind of going over the announcement of it, and in the announcement and in their little briefing, they talk about the companies that are going to be impacted, and some pretty big ones. I think to WB with, I guess you have to add on years to Wonder Woman and anything else that they're doing there. You think of EA, you think of all these companies, Insomniac with Wolverine. They said Take-Two, and, for me, Take-Two is like Mafia, Bioshock. Bioshock is probably like 30 years away, so I don't have to worry about that one. But GTA 6, and that's one that, you kind of initially think of. Well, there was actually a post a few hours after the initial announcement just to add insult to injury, right? Just to rub it into our faces. There was a separate post talking specifically about GTA, saying, yes, this is a game specifically that's going to be impacted based off the strike. Now, I think it actually came from them, so they made a point to do it. I think the media is making a point to do it, and to be honest with you, I mean, I get it. I get kind of putting this in front of everybody's face where it's like, hey, and this is something, I want to talk about in this video. This is the biggest game of our lifetime, and actually goes back to, what we talked about in the last video. Expectations, I know, are kind of all over the place, and some people might be expecting too much, this and that, but to be honest with you, in our lifetime, there's no game so far that's made as much money as I think GTA 6 is going to make. I really think it's going to break every record we've ever seen, and, maybe it gets beaten afterwards, but I think it's going to be the biggest game up until this point that's ever released, and maybe the biggest media piece, movies, music, right, that's ever come out. That is gigantic, and for that to be impacted, again, you read the, the press release or the briefing, whatever, you see Take-Two, you think, okay, what are some games, and this is something, we talked about there, but I'll say it here. Well, why would GTA, be impacted? Well, the way I look at it, right, is this really impacts games that are kind of in the middle or end, or I guess even beginning, in the voice recording process, right? You don't do voice work the entire time. I mean, you stop maybe a couple months short of the game coming out. You don't start right away. Sometimes that can be years and years in. Depends on the game. I think like Final Fantasy, we've seen they kind of record right away and they just do it for years. Some games, though, do it like maybe the second half of development. The point being, when you see Take-Two, right, you think, okay, Mafia. Mafia's probably in the voice working era or phase, right? That probably is getting impacted as well. They're just not going to say it. Bioshock, highly doubt it. I don't think they've gotten to the point where they're recording voice work yet. But GTA is a game that's a year and a couple months, right? A year and some change away. It's absolutely a game that is currently in it, and it's not done, right? Hence, you now have an issue, I guess. And, in that earlier video, I talked about, okay, well, what are ways that, maybe you subvert this? Like, how do you get around if that's the way these companies are going to do it? And honestly, if you drag out this negotiation, you might see companies try different things. You might see them experiment with AI, something I don't want them to do, but they could experiment with AI voice work in the short term. You could hire people that are not in the union to do voice work. The issue is that only works if you're in the beginning, right? If you just started, or if you are about to start, say an Insomniac, you haven't done Venom yet. Now, you'd have to lose Tony Todd, so maybe it's a bad example, but, you think of a game that's maybe just about to do voice work, hey, maybe you just hire a bunch of non-union people. But for this game, for GTA, they already have everybody. Everybody is cast. Everybody's got a role. And they're probably, they're close to done, but you got probably a year left of touch-ups, and I highly doubt everything has been recorded, so it is a game that's going to be impacted. And, I guess to end this video, to wrap it up, well, what does this mean? The longer it goes, this is a genuine concern, I think, for GTA. As I've said in the past, it's not the same as Hollywood, right? When Hollywood shut down, the actors were kind of everything. They're not the only thing that goes into a movie, but if you don't have their performance, you really don't have a film, right? You can only do pre-planning. You could write and things like that, but you can't actually do the filming. For this, it's a smaller part, although it's very, very important. I'm not trying to diminish it, but it's something that, for a GTA, could you do everything except for this, right? You could still write. You could, rewrite. So you're going over things, going over NPC dialogue, all that jazz. You can still be writing. You can still be programming. You can still be designing and lighting work and all that jazz. You just can't, whether it's maybe motion capture, voice work, whatever it is, you can't be doing that. I do think that could lead to a delay, especially if this goes for a while. Like it seems so easy because they're fighting over AI, and I feel like AI is pretty simple when it comes to voice work, which is companies, executives, please stand down, just let the voice actors win this one. I feel like that's kind of common sense in this point. So, for me, it's like, this should be done in a few weeks. Honestly, this could last months and months and months. I still haven't checked, but this happened before. I think it happened in 2017, 2016, and I don't think it took a full year, but it definitely didn't take a few weeks. I think it took several months to resolve this. You can fact check me, if I'm wrong, but this could go like through the end of the year. Hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully this ends like within a week or two, because everybody just wants to like get past this and get back to work. But you never know. This could stretch a couple months, and for every month that goes, if it's 1 month, if it's 2 months, maybe that's not a delay sentencing for GTA. If this goes 3, 4, 5, 6, half a year, I could see this game easily getting delayed out of next fall. But at the same time, I mean, it's like it's a risk reward for these executives, because they're looking at it and thinking, well, we want this game. GTA is going to sell, as I said in the beginning, it's going to sell unbelievable numbers, right? So, like, next fall, Take-Two is going to, just suck in all of this money. If it gets delayed, that's further away that they're not going to get the money when they thought they were, right? So maybe that pressures them to sign and to, I feel like the power is with the voice actors in this situation, right? I feel it's, at least for something like this, for a game that's like this close, because you can't find alternatives. Other games, maybe, like I said, maybe they use AI, maybe they just do non-union people. Maybe they say, well, we don't need them. We're not going to sign this agreement until we get what we want. That's possible, but that's only like certain games. Other games need it. Like a GTA cannot proceed with the voice work until this agreement's done. There's no other way around it unless you're going to hire, like, you have these two main characters. What, are you going to hire two non-union people to finish their voices and just kind of have both of them? Wouldn't work. You know what I mean? So for a situation like GTA, I imagine they would want this signed as quickly as possible. So like I said, the longer it goes, I think a delay honestly is very possible. Right now, I'll say no delay, right? If it's a few weeks, even a few months, I think they would be okay, because you could just do other work and maybe try to cram everything in last second, right? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on. I hope to see you all on the next one.